Hello, I'm Linda from paperboutique.blogspot.com. Today we're going to be making this cute refillable Notabilities book. I titled my video Notabilities since I'm going to use this easy to make book to take notes and capture ideas or possibilities. It all started when I wanted to buy a small refillable notebook to carry in my purse. I couldn't find one, so I decided to make my own refillable book out of chipboard, a notebook ring, and index cards. Well, let's begin. First of all, what you're going to need for this project is some lightweight chipboard, and it's going to measure 3 1/4 inches by 5 1/4. And you're going to need 2 pieces of this for the front and the back. I cut this particular chipboard using my paper cutter, but my good friend Donna suggested that you could also use your Gypsy or Design Studio and size the cut that's on the George cartridge. It's a rounded rectangle cut to work. I love her idea, and it would be great if you wanted to mass produce these books. You'll also need some 3x5 index cards, and I picked mine up at Target. This particular one has index cards with a holder, and you get 180 of them for $1.99. The other thing that I thought would be cute is using colored index cards, and that would have worked really good with this project. I didn't use them, but I also picked these up at Target, and I think they were 100 for like $1.49. You're also going to need a 1 1/4 inch binder ring, a notebook ring or a binder ring. I used 1 1/4 inch, but you really could use a 1 inch ring. I think it actually might work a little bit better. I picked up a package of assorted sizes at Office Depot, and I can't remember, but they were really inexpensive. They have all types of sizes at Office Depot and colors. Now for the closure, and this is just one of the ways to close the book, and we'll talk about that when we actually get on to making the book. When I went to lunch a couple of weeks ago, my friend Donna suggested that I use like a hairband closure, and it's great. And Target had these from Goody is the manufacturer, and they're just super cute and super cute colors. I can see a lot of uses for these in the future. Well, let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I want to talk about the cardboard. I use, like I said, I call it cardboard, but it's a lightweight chipboard actually. First thing I did is cut it using my paper cutter, and then I rounded the corners. And for rounding the corners of the chipboard, I used my Crop-A-Dile from We Are Memory Keepers. It works super well. It's like cutting butter. You just put it in and just press down. And also I used this Crop-A-Dile corner chomper to do my index cards. I could do about 6 of them at a time. Well, let's talk about how I actually finished the cover of my notebook. I went ahead and cut a piece of paper that was the same size as the chipboard, 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. And then what I like to do when I'm making books, and I've taught bookmaking classes before and used all sorts of different adhesives, but my favorite one is to use just a glue stick. It just has the right moisture content, and I put a really good coat right onto this. And then I went ahead and just glued it, and I used either a brayer or a roller to get a really firm coverage. Another way that you could do it is to go ahead and ink the edges. I didn't ink my edges, but you could, or you could go ahead and wrap the chipboard and then cover the inside lining. There's so many different ways to finish the book. I just took the really quick and easy way. Now I want to show you how I went ahead and lined up the circles. After I glued the front on, I just took an index card, and once again I used my corner chomper and I labeled it template, and then I put a little removable tape on the back. I wanted my backing, my covers of my book to be a little bit larger, so that's why I cut them. The card's actually 3 by 5, so I cut this 5 1/4 by 3 1/4. And I put that on, and I just went ahead and used my pencil to trace where to punch it. And then once this is actually glued down, I would go ahead And I love my We Are Memory Keepers crocodile for this. And what I used is the, let me see what it says. It says 3/16 size hole, and then I would just line it up here, and it just punches super easy. And then I would go ahead and use this as a template, and this is a template for punching the remainder of the pages. And then let me show you what I did on the inside. I'm going to go ahead and remove this. On the inside, I just decided I wanted some dividers, so I went ahead and cut some pages that were 3 1/4 by 5 1/4, just so, I don't know if you can see that, so they'd be a little bit bigger than the index cards and stick out a little. You could also, I just wanted some tabs, you could also make a template with some tabs going along the top or tabs going along the side. This book is so versatile. And let me show you one more thing. This is the band that we talked about, but what you could also do in between putting your layers onto the chipboard, you could just put a cut piece of ribbon on the top, and at the bottom between the 2 layers, before you put your paper on top of the chipboard, you could glue another piece of ribbon and then just tie a bow here. That would be a good closure. You could put a piece of paper here, use Velcro, you could use basic gray magnets. There's all sorts of different ways to close it, but this is just super simple. Well, let me go ahead and talk a little bit about the cover. First of all, I did a layer here that was 5 1/8 by 3 1/8, and then I cut another layer that's about 1/8 of an inch smaller. And this green piece measures 1 5/8 by 3 inches. And the stickers and the paper from the Summer Day collection by Echo Park. And I am in love with spellbinders. And let me bring in the spellbinders I used. I couldn't remember which one, the Labels 4. And I didn't use the largest one. I used this particular size and the next 2 of them. So I cut 3 of those just to make it super cute and easy. Like I said, I used the stickers. I cut ribbon, and I didn't go all the way around the ring with my ribbon because I didn't want it super bulky in my purse, but if you're making it for gifts, I would just tie on tons of ribbon so that the entire ring is covered. And that, I think this book would be darling for, I'm going to use it for some sketches, for some ideas for my blogs, kind of a to-do list. And the fun thing about it is that it's refillable with very inexpensive index cards, and you can make it as thick as you want. As I said earlier, you could use an inch ring instead of the 1 1/4. Well, I would like to thank you for watching, and please visit my blog at www.paperboutique.blogspot.com for more projects and ideas. Bye-bye.